Hey guys, tonight I am doing a tag video of the products that I regret buying, which I have plenty of somehow. So without further ado, we will just dive right in and get started. My very first product that I regret buying is the Wet n Wild H2O Proof Liquid Eyeliner. So the waterproof liquid eyeliner by Wet n Wild. My biggest complaint about this is the brush. It has killer staying power, that's for sure. I mean, the waterproof aspect of it is legitimate, but the brush doesn't bend at all. I mean, it is like stiff. It's like a piece of plastic is what it feels like. So trying to apply this to your eye is next to impossible, especially compared to the Liner Intense by L'Oreal or even the Line Stiletto by Maybelline. This is a similar concept, but this brush is super bendable. And the waterproof liquid liner by Wet n Wild is almost impossible to apply. And while the price is right, it's not worth it. I mean, I bought this thinking, okay, it's cheap, I'll use it a couple of times. I've used it once. I literally used it once and it's impossible to use. The brush is so stiff. I'm not exaggerating. That's something I definitely regret buying. Another thing that I majorly regret buying is mostly the entire CoverGirl TruBlend line. I had the whipped foundation for a while and eventually it just got old and I never used it, so I ended up throwing it out, or else I would put that in this video. But I still held on to the powder, and the reason I dislike this is not just because it's not in my shade and I didn't think that there was a shade that met my skin tone, but the actual powder is so like thick. I don't know how exactly to describe it, but say you put your brush into the powder, it's like it all flakes off. I don't know if you can see that, but literally like my entire leg is covered in powder right now. So yeah, it's on the brush, but I wasted so much. My next bone to pick with the TruBlend line is their TruBlend Minerals Blush. I have this one in color 425. It's a very, very light pink color. First of all, it's a loose powder, which I don't personally like, but the color payoff is just really crappy. I mean, first of all, look when I picked that up. It's like bright pink. Like, who would wear that color? But even when I swatch it, okay, that's what a swatch looks like. Maybe I got myself into it that it's like even lighter than my powder. It's like this crazy, weird, really light pink shade. But you can brush this onto your cheeks and not even know it's there. Like, I just rubbed it into my hand and it's gone. So to me, it was a waste of money. There's a ton of product here, which is awesome. So if it's something that you actually like, you can get a lot of use out of it. But for me, this is all basically going to go to waste because I don't want to use it. And it's so much product. So it's like, I have no use for it. Next up, my huge complaint, and it's kind of mixed feelings, is for the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. I know that this is like an oldie but goodie to a lot of people. But for me, it doesn't do the job. Not that it doesn't do the job, but there's so many other great mascaras out there that this to me is just super outdated. For instance, the brush is like microscopic. If we compare it to my Smashbox Full Exposure brush, I mean, just look at that. It's like, it doesn't even compare. And while there's some things that a small brush can do well, for example, the lower lash line, you know, getting into the very inner lashes on your upper lash line, a small brush might be great for that. But with this product, I have a huge problem, not just with the brush, but with the consistency. And when I first started using it, I liked that it was very liquidy compared to some of my other mascaras. But now that I've gotten used to other ones, I don't like this. It's so liquidy that even when I put it on my lashes, when I open my eye, it always gets up on the top, down on the bottom. It's a mess. The only time I would recommend this mascara is when you are crying and you actually want the black streaks running down your face, because that's what happens. I understand that it's an oldie but goodie, but for me, it's an oldie and not a goodie. And they've made leaps and bounds in the mascara industry since this came out, so regret. My next regret is the e.l.f. stippling brush. And while this was only $3, so it's not really breaking the bank that I bought it, I'm not that mad that I bought it, it's not a good brush. It's incredibly flimsy. It's incredibly thin. And you go to press it onto your face and the entire thing just breaks down. There's no, you can't just dab it like this. And my other thing too is while this is a soft brush, it's kind of itchy. If you were to dab on the way that you're supposed to with a stippling brush, it itches. It tickles. Like it's not, I don't think it's supposed to do that. To me, not worth it. Especially because I've used the MAC one before. I don't personally own a MAC stippling brush. Pales in comparison. I mean, this one sucks compared to that. The other one's so much better. And my last regret is the e.l.f. blush in the color Tickled Pink. Now, it's not just the color that I have a problem with. It comes like this in a compact. Looks kind of like the NARS eyeshadows or blushes. My problem with this is the payoff. Let me see if I can show you. For instance, I have this small blush brush. I can rub it in here as hard as I want, and literally barely any product comes up on the brush. And when you apply it, nothing. And it's not the brush. I've used several different brushes. It just has a really poor color payoff. I'm literally, like, look, I'm swatching it, I'm rubbing it really hard trying to get a swatch. And, like, you still can barely see anything. I'm not sure if that's true of every e.l.f. blush or just this one, but definitely a regret. That's all that I have for today, so thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.